What's going on, Wizards? We are back with the April winner, Padraig. We have a great chat about all things United, the title race coming in, and we only have one game week left. So it's the last Crown Anchor. It's the last chance to make a push for the title. So make sure you keep it locked, pay attention, and we'll see you in the next one.
Padraig, congratulations for winning April. Well done, very well done.
Thank you.
I think there are a few people who I think were in the run-ins for it, and I think you won it fairly comfortably in the end. So very well done, you.
There was a lot of games in April too, wasn't there? There was a couple of game weeks and stuff like that. So winning April was a big accomplishment. Well done.
Generally speaking, how did you find the EPL Wizards for April?
It was hectic. There was a lot of game weeks, so it was very, very hectic. It was a month of chips, really, or the lack of chips in some parts. The challenge of wasting a free hit earlier on in the season and getting nothing out of it against the guys that had free hits going into, I think it was 34, was a big challenge, but I think it was one of the things that allowed me to, I suppose, win April and do well in April. Is that there was a few lucky picks and a few good picks along the way, but the experience is good. Yeah, actually, so like I broke my wrist maybe sometime in March, and I was like, I just found I had a lot more time on my hands and I stressed a lot more about this, so I think it helped in the end, which is good.
What club do you support and why?
I am a United supporter for my sins. I support them. I think most people in Ireland, we follow who our father supported. So my dad supported United, and it was probably a big split at the time between United and Liverpool for the most part. So I picked it up when I was young, and obviously it was glory years back then. So it was a good team to support and a good team to follow.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was just saying, somebody born around I was born in 88, and I said literally until 2013, the only thing I knew was success. I mean, that's all I knew.
Yeah. Everything. Like, and it was then when it started to struggle. It was a massive few years of denial. It was like, no, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. But it's been a long road.
Yeah. It's been a tough decade for sure.
What's some of the highlights so far this season? I know we're coming up to the last few games, last two games for United to be exact.
There's
what
highlights.
What were some of the highlights? Yeah, generally, it doesn't have to be United. I mean, it could be United, but it could be anybody.
Not much from United, that's for sure. I think it's just been like every year, I think the Premier League just gets more and more competitive. There's more and more teams in the mix. It was great to have 3 teams kind of running it out until, a couple of weeks ago. And it's great to see it go down to the last week, to be honest. That's what everyone wants. It's great for EPL. There's teams with something on the line all the way to the last week, and it makes it maybe a bit easier to choose. I think the teams when there's runaways and nobody's kind of like fighting for anything, that's when the real differential comes in, because you just don't know where to go. But yeah, a great year for goals for a lot of different teams competing. It's been pretty good. Yeah, well, apart from outside of the United sphere, it's been a pretty good season.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah,
United is still such a juggernaut, and the players that come in are just so thrown into kind of the deep end when it comes to media, when it comes to expectations and all that kind of stuff. And if you have all the things outside of football to worry about, instead of just going in, playing football, letting the people that should be doing their job do their job and doing it comfortably, then you don't have that. Then it's a losing recipe for sure.
I think that's a good segue into our question time.
Yes, right.
Questions. So I think the first question was from Mr. David Furtado. He's also one of our sponsors, YGS FC. His question to you, Padraig, is what do you think of Man United's downfall?
Maybe go to the next question, because that was going to be my follow-on, basically, was do you think Ten Hag is to blame, or do you think the players are to blame?
I think it's the culture. It has to be the culture. I think Ten Hag, stepped into an environment that was already tough to succeed, and it's very hard to judge how he's done. Like, he's definitely seems to have done things around the last couple of years that have been strange, like that have done the opposite of getting player morale up, but he's also trying to instill his own mentality and his own kind of view on things, and without the kind of support, like I think he's a tracksuit manager, or he was at least at Ajax, and I think he just runs things from the field, from the training ground. But it seems that he had to take care of so many other things. Like, I can't give it all the blame to him, but I can't say he's handled every situation perfectly either.
Yeah, I remember hearing somebody say it's not his mess, but he does have some level of responsibility to try and clean it up.
At the end of the day, he's getting massive salary to kind of do what he has to do to bring things along.
As far as keeping him, my feeling is if he was available, if United were looking for a manager this summer and Ten Hag was available amongst the other candidates that are also available this summer, Ten Hag would be the one that we hire. Given his resume, he has the best resume of the managers available. So it could unfortunately just be a matter of timing that we hired Ten Hag 2 years too early. But I do think that if he was a manager, if he was just leaving Ajax right now, and we were looking for a manager with all the options that are out there, and Ten Hag being one of them, Ten Hag would be the one that we hire. Yeah. And so it's so tough.
It's whether he's kind of like, because you don't know exactly how the players view him or how he
that's the thing.
Gets along with each player, and the likes of Jadon Sancho kind of doing his thing for Dortmund at the moment. Like, do they see him now as a player, like Ineos, the football operations people, do they see him as a player to kind of increase his value and sell off, and Ten Hag doesn't have to deal with him, or himself or Rashford or whoever that Ten Hag has fallen out with, do they value their potential success more than what Ten Hag can kind of like bring to the table?
It'll be
an
interesting
few years.
It'll be a very interesting summer, I think. Here it is. You have the chance to be given the cure for all types of cancer by some unknown magical being. But in order to learn the cure, you must choose 100 people that you know personally to sacrifice their life. Would you or won't you, and why? Nice and light for a Tuesday evening. Nice and light. Thanks, Wendell.
Jeez. I don't think I could do it. I don't think that people you know,
100 people you personally know, yeah.
I just, it's
100's a lot too. 100's a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. No, do I even know 100 people? Am I be starting again with everyone? I'd have to say no. I know it's like which burden do you bear after, or which burden can you live with? But it's a no. I think it's a no.
You're right though. 100 people that I personally know. I feel like some people would feel like they're catching strays because they'd be like, "I met you for 5 minutes." Like, what are you talking about? 100 people, man.
That's a crazy question. I think that may be one of the most unique questions that we've had so far. So thank you for that, Wendell. Nathan Clark has a question. As someone who enjoys playing football as well, what's the best team you've played for, and who's the best manager you've played under?
I think that was it's a very pointed question, because Nathan, my housemate, is the manager of Terrace Onions, and I play for the Terrace Onions. So I don't think there's any other question or answer that I can give that. Yes, Nathan, you're the best manager I played for. You
kind of get set up for that one. So that's
exactly.
All right, next one. It looks like Chris Alexander says, "How does it feel to be a Corona League champion?"
Again, another shout out. There's a few Terrace Onions in that group shouting out. I think they were probably spotting the YGS flag, one of our biggest kind of competition this year for winning the title. But it was a long season. It was good though. It was first time the Terrace Onions have won the Corona, so it was hopefully United will take some inspiration from the drought to kick on next year.
All right, so this is going back to your April win, I guess. What did you think when you saw that the person in first place had captained Palmer in game week 36?
That was a big sigh of relief. Like so it was William Usher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Asked the question. And he obviously, for most of the season, people have been chasing him down. And I think it's my April month that kind of got me jumped up to be thankfully in competition with him. And that's like, it's funny because for most of the year, I think my main, my main luck potentially, or my main view was to pick a differential captain. Like picking Cole Palmer a couple of times when others didn't, picking Son, picking Saka, or different times when everyone was picking Haaland or whatever. But for that week, like everything in my heart just said, you have to pick Haaland. You have to pick Haaland. At least don't lose place on everyone else. Everyone else will pick him, and then everyone did, except for William Usher and Haaland goes and banks in 4 goals. So it was definitely well received on my end.
You guys are still pretty close at the top. I think it's tight. It could be anybody's. And that was one thing I didn't look at enough this year, and was like squad value. I've never looked into it. I never kind of tried to play price increases, price decreases, and that bit me this week when I had to get rid of Van Hecke for a defender. I unfortunately chose Emerson Royale, who got me all of 0 points this week. So I think whatever small little gap I had has been reduced, and I'm hoping for a Chelsea clean sheet and a Petrovic maybe penalty save to get myself back in there. But
yeah, God, there's only basically 1 game week left, other than a couple teams have a couple games this week.
Yeah. And there's a few others chasing as well, so it's going to be just like the Premier League. This is going into the last week for sure.
I think there was one last question about Ten Hag getting sacked. Kari Sharif. I don't know if you're seeing why would he get sacked, but I didn't want to finish off question time without mentioning all the questions.
I think it depends on what Ineos want to do. If they want to just clean slate it, give themselves
which you could understand,
a run time
which you could understand. You could understand it.
But it depends on who's available as well. As you said, if Ten Hag was the person available now, you're going for him. And there's not much out there. You look at Munich. Munich are struggling to find someone, and any of the top managers would go to Munich in a heartbeat. Especially now that there's a challenge that hasn't been there for a while, where they have been knocked off their perch in the Bundesliga.
All right, let's move right on to the Crown and Anchor segment. Is what a lot of people look forward to, especially those in the bottom half of the table. I guess the first question for you, Padraig, is what would you like for the Champions' Choice fixture in game week 38?
Well, it was a choice between 2. We're going into the last week, so it has to be one of the deciding games, but I went for City and West Ham.
Nice one. That's a big one.
That's
a title-winning game.
Well, Arsenal still has to do their part. I mean, Arsenal still has to show out and get a result as well.
Yeah,
but,
that's true. That's true.
You know, so both clubs are going to be trying to get a result, obviously. And then password for. Oh, sorry. Should we go with the tiebreaker first? The tiebreaker. What would you like the tiebreaker to be?
I found this on the web.
Oh, going for something a little different than I've seen in previous ones, and we're going to go with goal differential. So,
okay.
No matter home and away, if it's 0-0 or 1-1 draw, that's 0 added to the pot. If it's 3-1, 2 goals added. So goal differential over the 10
Okay.
games.
All right. I like it. Goal differential and then password.
To and a slight reference to happier times at United, but I'm going to go with squeaky bum time.
Squeaky, that's perfect. And I think we're doing capital S, capital B, capital T, and
yes.
all one word, I believe. Yes, squeaky bum time. 3 caps, all one word. Lovely. And that's going to be
Can we just
quick because this is this Sunday, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is going to be a really quick one.
Yeah.
So just so everybody knows, we're going to try and turn this around as quickly as possible. I know there's going to be questions about the goal differential. So can you just explain it one more time for those who didn't catch it the first time?
So if you're just using 3 games as an example, it's a draw, any score draw, there's 0 added to the differential. If it's a 2-0, there's 2 added. If it's a 5-1, there's 4 added, so the total differential over those 3 games will be 6.
Yeah, so there's not going to be ever going to be anything taking away. It's only ever going to be adding. So
yeah,
nothing to do with home and away. Just what the goal differential is. Keep adding up. So no negative numbers. I had a feeling we might be getting some negative numbers, but we don't have to worry about that. It's all going positive.
All right, next up is the Lightning Round. This is my favorite segment of the show. So we're going to get the timer started. Let's have some fun.
I don't even have any questions ready, Fub. I don't even have nothing ready.
Nothing ready? Me neither.
Nope. All right.
Even better. All right, let's do 3 minutes. Starting now. I'll go first. All right, what was your first job?
A waiter.
Where was it?
In Ireland, in a bistro restaurant for about 6 months.
Nice. Very nice. Cool.
Chess or checkers?
Checkers.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I get the sense that you travel quite a bit. So where did you go for your last vacation?
My last vacation, I was in New York for the weekend with my girlfriend.
Very nice. Very nice.
What country stands out to you as one of the most memorable that you've traveled to?
I think it's Vietnam. I just think the people, the food, the scenery is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Best place I've been to by far.
What is one of your nicknames?
Podge. A lot of Podge from friends back home.
Nice. I like that.
Whiskey or Guinness?
Guinness.
All right.
What dish do you cook the best?
Ooh, when I cook, I do think I make a mean spaghetti bolognese.
Nice.
I think I see some golf clubs in the background there.
Yes, yeah.
What's your go-to club? What are you comfortable with?
My 9-iron. Recently, changes quite a lot, but at the moment.
All right. Do you, if you had to write a book, what would the title be, and what would it be about?
Ooh, how I won EPL Wizards 2024. I might bite myself now.
I think that's the end of the lightning round there, Fub. We end on that. That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop comment right there.
Talk about confidence. Man. Oh, jeez. Do you have any shout outs? Anybody you wanna any shout outs or reference before we wrap up?
Yeah, just shout out to all the other Terrace Onions in the group, especially my housemate Nathan. He has been a huge sounding board for every decision that I've made over the last year, for sure. Cool, yeah. Thanks, lads. Great league. Love being a part of it, and thanks to all the effort you've been putting in the last year. It's been a lot of fun.
Good too. Hopefully United can give us all something to smile about next year.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Great interview. What a fantastic interview.
Yeah, that was enjoyable to chat to another despondent United fan.
Yeah, I think there's definitely faith in numbers.
Yes, definitely.
Faith for next season.
But that's a good interview. And the big mic drop at the end of the interview as well. So if you skipped ahead to just get to the Crown and Anchor stuff, you're going to want to go back and listen to a bit of that interview, especially the last bit.
Yeah, I was impressed. Quite. And talking about Crown and Anchor and everything that's been going on with the Crown and Anchor, we wanted to say a special congratulations to last month's winner, Corin Knights.
Yeah.
Well done for winning April Crown and Anchor. I think it came down to the wire. It was pretty close at the end.
It was pretty close, yeah, it was. I was trying to do math, and I remember my math got wrong at one point, but it was pretty close. Everyone was kind of in the running till the last game or two. But yeah, so we got one more Crown Anchor to go, right, Fab? Just this last May one.
Last one, yeah.
The last one of the season. Last chance to win some money just for 2 minutes of filling out a form. Not even 2 minutes, 30 seconds to fill out a form. So yeah, Crown Anchor, obviously the last game week, which is on Sunday, so very quick. The Champions' Choice fixture, I believe, is West Ham versus City.
Yes,
and
that's
the
right.
password is Squeaky Bum Time, all one word with a capital S, B, and T. Mm-hmm. And then the tiebreaker. Should we give a little description of that again? It's goal difference for the entire game week. So if the match ends in a tie, then there's no goal difference. If it's a 3-1, then 2. If it's a 5-1, then 4. The difference is 4. Doesn't matter home or away, so we're just adding up all the goal differences throughout the game week. Yep.
That's perfect. Talking about what else happened last game week, we did have a prize giveaway, so I want to say congratulations to Weezy Payne and to Tyrrell Simmons for winning. We had 2 questions from the Jair episode, and they both have won themselves a complimentary EPL Wizards hat. So congratulations to them for that. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also find that we don't spend a lot of time on our sponsors, Nate. So
definitely give them a shout out.
Yeah. Shout out to Just for Kicks who provided us with that with those hats, and there's amazing swag that we like to wear from time to time. Also, shout out to BDA Home Solutions. You can contact them as well for anything home related, and also YGS FC got a few shout outs in that interview with Padraig, one of our sponsors. I had the privilege of having lunch with David Furtado today, and so he's agreed to sign on next season as a sponsor, which is always great to have support like that for our shows. And also thanks to you, Nate, for your sense of humor, your Man United perspective, and just all around good guy.
I appreciate it, Bob, and I repeat all of those things back at you, except for the Man United perspective.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. For anybody who's wondering, thank you. For anybody who's wondering, I have not been kidnapped. I am in somewhat in flux at the moment, and so as part of the move, I have not been able to locate my camera, and so that's why I have this picture up. But I think this has been a great season, and looking forward to wrapping it up with you in the next show and in our season finale, Nate.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And seeing who wins.
Yeah, me too. Great. All right, Nate. Have a good evening.
Yes, Fub.
See you later.
See you later.